Well, Sixers Nation, we finally have an official training camp update. Also, more James Harden footage you do not want to miss. And lastly, do the Sixers have the best starting five in the league? We will break it all down. Let's go.
Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into Philly Take with RB. You know what to do. Hit that like button to support the show. Be sure to subscribe if you are new and ring that bell. It helps us out more than you realize as we try to continue to grow. You definitely don't want to miss the upcoming content. We'll be having a lot of it very soon. We'll get to that later on. But in today's show, we will be breaking it all down. And I want to start on something completely separate. Once again, how many good things can you say about this guy, man? Tyrese Maxey making his appearance at the Union game yesterday. The Union are really, really good, by the way. They're fun to watch. Tyrese Maxey on the Phillies broadcast earlier this week flew in specifically to do an interview with them and then ends up going to the Union game because they wanted him to be there. And look at all these fans, man, just adoring Tyrese Maxey. This kid is beloved in the city of Philadelphia. He is already a star here, man, and I cannot wait to see what he is able to do. It's so exciting. It really, really is to have a kid like this, and also who's very just hungry and desiring and just wants more, you know, and I think he's going to be an integral part of the team this year. I cannot wait to see what happens, but we got to go to James Harden, man. We got to go to James Harden. It was his birthday a couple days ago. Shout out to James Harden, 33 years old. And as we all know, he dropped his signature wine, the J. Harden wine, and you know we had to order it, man. Now, shout out to the Vivino app. I downloaded it. As you can see, it says get it on Vivino or the link in his bio. I ordered this, and it literally came in like 16 hours later. Like, when they talk about next day shipping, fast shipping, they were on top of it. This thing already came in. Did not try it yet. We will be saving that for a special show later this week. So, if you want my live reaction and my first thoughts, because I'm not much of a wine drinker, but I had to do it for the culture, man. I had to do it for Sixers Nation, and we have a special show lined up, and it won't be the whole show, but we'll definitely be taking a look at this and seeing what it's about, man. So shout out to James Harden for the wine, man. But, yo, he was having a good time. He was having a good time, and I know you're probably sitting there like, man, who cares? But, look, we are getting closer and closer and closer. And Harden's helping us get through, man. So, look, this was James Harden a couple days ago on his birthday, obviously hanging out. You know, he's essentially a celebrity. He's friends with all the guys. And Lil Baby gives him $250,000. You thought James Harden took that pay cut? Yes, he did. But he's getting recouped, man. His boys are helping him out. How about Lil Baby chipping in, man? Chipping in, man. Look at this. He got the duffel bag. He's got the duffel bag. James Harden making that bread back. I love it. The rapper's taking care of him. Look, if the Sixers win the championship, Lil Baby definitely deserves a spot on that parade flow. Who's with me, man? Line up all the rappers. Line them all up. Travis Scott, Meek, all of them will be on that parade float. Shout out to James Harden, man. Having a good birthday. Looking pretty fly, man. Looking pretty fly. Shout out to him. And then here's the great one. Here's the great one. James Harden was seen throwing his birthday cake. Now, this was probably the most lavish cake I've ever seen. Throws it into the ocean. Let's look at this, man. Skinny James is back. Look at that. Yeet. See you later. Skinny James Harden is back. When have you seen James Harden throw a cake into the ocean? That man is dedicated. He's been in the gym. He's been grinding. He said, nah, I don't want those calories, man. I'm trying to get slim fit James again. I'm trying to get back to that. Shout out to James Harden, man. Having a good time. And boy, did he have a good time. If you want to see more footage of his birthday and that whole thing, go follow the Instagram page at Philly Take with RB. We're definitely covering it all over there. That's awesome, man. But, yo, let's talk about the Sixers starting lineup. So shout out to 215 Muse on Twitter. Repost this from Austin Krell, our guy who hopefully we can get on the show sometime soon. He says the four-man unit of Embiid, Harden, Maxey, and Tobias Harris went plus 6.6 points per 100 possessions in 257 playoff minutes. The only better four-man unit to play more minutes was Steph Curry, Klay, Wiggins, and Draymond Green per NBA crowd. Now, I'm thinking, recently about this starting five, and honestly, it's one of the best on paper. We know that, right? It's probably going to be Tyrese, Maxey, James Harden, PJ Tucker, Tobias, and Joel. That is one of the best starting fives on paper. Obviously, and a guy like PJ Tucker does a lot for this lineup. But, you have to come out and perform. You have to come out and show, why that should be accurate, right? You got to come out and prove yourselves. And obviously, we need to wait to see that. But, when I think about some of these other starting fives, in my personal opinion, trying to take any bias out of it, I think I would put the Sixers starting lineup in the top 3 in the NBA. At least the top 5 for sure, but probably in the top 3. I mean, who's better? Who could you think that's better? Golden State, maybe Boston, maybe the Clippers. I don't, but other than those, I think the Sixers have a really compact, well-rounded starting 5. Obviously, a guy like Joel Embiid, you have 2 guards who can handle on, off the ball, run the pick and roll. You have a guy like Tobias who can share some ball duties or try to spot up and knock down some shots and create from that mid-range area. And then PJ Tucker, who's just a dog who can knock down, spot up in the corner, and guard out on the perimeter. I think the Sixers really have a well-balanced roster, man. And obviously, I'm still a little bit cautious. I'm cautiously optimistic about the bench, and we'll obviously get into that more as we go on. But in terms of the starting unit, and obviously you can stagger these guys, there's no reason why this lineup should not be one of the most productive in 2022-23. I mean, it's just there. It's the writing's on the wall, man. And this team should be really good. I personally would put this as the best Sixers lineup, even better than 2018. I think it makes a lot more sense. And if we get some resemblance of an old James Harden, not the Houston Harden, but maybe the Brooklyn Harden, maybe the efficient, productive Harden, and Maxey takes another jump, I mean, there's no telling to what this lineup can do together, and I'm really excited. I think PJ Tucker is one of those pieces that will help it all mesh together. I think it's what we have needed, especially at that forward position, trying to put guys like that who are complementary pieces around Joel Embiid. I'm really excited for it. And I honestly, I think the Sixers have a top 3 starting lineup, at least on paper. We'll have to wait and see what they come out and do together. But come playoff time, this should be a much tougher lineup to go up against and prepare against. You give me your thoughts down below in the comments section. The last thing I want to talk about today is the Sixers training camp. This was put out a couple days ago. Shout out to Citadel Sports on Twitter. They say the Sixers bringing their talents to the low country. Obviously, we got an announcement about a month ago that Doc Rivers has decided to take the Sixers training camp to South Carolina. This is not usual for him. He's done it a few times throughout his long coaching career, and he did it before 2008 when the Boston Celtics won the championship. He took the team to Europe. Really what the idea is for the team to just get away, isolate, and really just have that time together and not really think about outside things, because even though these guys are NBA players, they have lives like the rest of us. And what really Doc Rivers had in mind is to just come out and let them mesh together. And, we've had the whole offseason. It's really exciting to think about what these guys will do now that they have time to plan and all that stuff. But I like it. I think it's a good idea. And we got an official announcement. We finally got an update. Sixers training camp will be held at McAllister Fieldhouse starting on September 27th for that entire week. And then after that week, we have a couple preseason games. We open up against the Brooklyn Nets. I forget what day that is. I think it's like the 5th or something. We have a couple preseason games, and then we get into the season starting on, I believe, October 18th or 19th. So we have it all coming up back to back to back. We'll obviously be providing that coverage every single day. We're going to have a lot of different varieties of coverage here, and we're going to be breaking it all down. So Sixers Nation, NBA Nation out there, man, if you want to stay tuned in to some of the most consistent coverage, man, subscribe to the show. I cannot wait. We're hopefully going to get the ins and outs. I don't know, whether the reporters will be traveling with them or how that will work or whether they will have access. But whatever, insight, whatever input we get, we will be breaking it all down here on the show, and I cannot wait. Here are some pictures of the facility where they will be at. Looks pretty nice, man. I'm excited. I am very excited for these guys to get together. Training camp's always a fun time, man. We'll be talking, obviously, before that about camp battles, what we're wanting to see, who needs to step up, who's trying to make the team, all those little things, all those intricacies that, you know, the real pure NBA fans enjoy. We'll be breaking it all down, so I cannot wait. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody, you know, who's been rocking with us. Like I said, it's been a little dry lately, of course, but once we get rolling, man, once the ball gets rolling, you know, we're going to really get an in-depth look. I think this is the season. I don't want to get too hype. I don't want to overrate right now, but I really have a good feeling about what this year can bring us and what this team can bring us. I think it's well put together. Obviously, there's still some things we need to work on, but right now we should be optimistic, and I cannot wait to see how this all plays out. But you give me your thoughts down below in the comments section. How do you feel about everything? Appreciate everybody for rocking with us. Hit the like button, subscribe. Be sure to ring that bell and drop a comment down below, man. Appreciate everybody, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect.